This is the Pimax Crystal Super, the latest upcoming ultra-high resolution dedicated PCVR headset from Pimax. It's smaller, lighter, crisper, and it packs some weird surprises. Hey, Ty here, so welcome to the VR Tech channel. In this video I want to share with you my experience with the Pimax Crystal Super, the awesome and the very ugly, and also my demo with their new WiGig adapter, the wireless adapter to play your Pimax Crystal completely almost wireless. So well, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. By the way, again, thanks to Rocket for making my trip to CES 2025 possible. Check them out in the video over here or in the description. I'm gonna be honest, I was really looking forward to my demo about the Pimax Crystal Super. In fact, it was my first appointment of CES 2025. Pimax always came up with weird ideas about their headset, and this time it's no different because they decided to do the Super. That is a particular newer version of the Pimax Crystal, but this time it's smaller, it's lighter, and it has a weird quirk. The fact that you can actually change the optical engine, as they call it, and swap it for different combos of lenses and screens. So there will be a QLED version, that is the one that I tried actually, with an extra high resolution of 3840 by 3840 each eye. Let me tell you, if you just looked at the thing, it was absolutely glorious. But there's more, of course. Upcoming micro OLED one and another one with a bigger FOV. So yeah, I really wanted to see this stuff. I arrived to the booth and well, they made me try the regular Pimax Crystal with the new WiGig adapter, because of course. Anyway, we're talking about wireless Pimax since the very beginning, since the first Kickstarter, and they never actually deliver. So this is the first time that we actually see something functioning about having a wireless VR experience with them. WiGig is a fascinating new technology for connections, so I was really excited about this, but yeah, it was a bit underwhelming, let's say. You see, first of all, CES is probably not the best place to actually demo wireless things. There are hundreds and hundreds of booths, everyone competing with their Wi-Fi to have a better signal than the other. So yeah, an uncongested situation is surely another thing, but the particular thing about WiGig is that we're actually using different frequencies than the regular connections. As you may know, your router usually uses 2 or 3 different connections. It depends if it's newer or not. The 2.4 band, that is the one that is perfect for the IoT stuff, because you can actually even penetrate the walls and get to pretty much everything. The 5 GHz connection, that is the one that is the most used right now, because it's fast enough and reaches pretty much everywhere in a house. Not as good as the 2.4, but almost there. And the 6 GHz connection, that is the newer standard with the Wi-Fi 6, that actually has a much better speed. It doesn't get as congested, but well, not many routers use that just yet. WiGig instead uses the spectrum between 57 and 66. Yeah, quite higher. And what's particular here is that potentially you have much more bandwidth. It can arrive pretty much at 10 gigabit per second. It is mind-blowing when it comes to data transfer, but having a very short wavelength, it doesn't have the ability to actually penetrate materials, and it just bounces everywhere. So you really need a line of connection to actually make it work. So potentially everything would have worked just perfectly at the Pimax booth, but I think there was something wrong with it. In fact, there was a lot of latency when playing with the Pimax Crystal. The resolution, yes, was very high, but it was so very laggy as well. When turning around, you would see that the image was struggling following what I was doing. And I was still seeing some color bending. This is something that shouldn't happen when you have actually a much higher bandwidth than what we use for a virtual desktop or other applications like Link with our standalone headsets. So yeah, I don't know what was going there, but it wasn't the best demo. Talking about the thing itself, it's a very small antenna that you put on the top, and the thing has also been connected to a power bank, because, well, the battery that's already in the Pimax Crystal is not enough for it, unfortunately. You have to put the crystal in a standalone mode to make it work, and on the computer side, well, you have a big antenna to actually, stream the signal. That can be connected via two USB or an HDMI and an USB Type-C for power. And then you also need a Wi-Fi dongle for some weird reason. Well, everything felt very convoluted and I didn't really understand the point of every single piece of it. It was just weird because the connection seems like to be like something similar to Link, but they said that it was working on WiGig. I don't know what was going on. Again, CS, probably the worst place to actually demo something like that. They tried to give us the demo. I hope they're gonna be able to fix everything soon. Because having wireless VR is for sure a very cool thing. It's just weird that they decided to go for the Pimax Crystal, that is the biggest headset and heaviest headset yet, and not for the Crystal Super that is actually smaller and it could use a bit better that Wi-Fi connection. Anyway, hopefully I'm gonna be able to try that again, maybe in a regular environment that I can control and I know the connections that are around. Hopefully it was just the case of CS. But now let's talk about the Pimax Crystal Super, because here my expectancy was very, very high indeed. Because this headset has very high resolution QLED displays with a local dimming and a resolution of 3840 by 3840 per eye. That is absolutely incredible. As I said in the Pimax Crystal Lite review, their resolution is already very high, and seeing something through that display, through those lenses that are spherical lenses, felt like weirdly unbelievable. Maybe even because of the fact we're using a straight connection to the PC, so you can use the entire resolution. I was actually looking at the MOS diorama, and that thing felt absolutely real. Colors were on point, brightness was very, very good, also thanks to the spherical lenses that make a lot of light pass through, and the FOV was around 120, 125 degrees, so very wide indeed, wider than what I was expecting, much wider than what we have on the Pimax Crystal, for example. That happened when you were looking absolutely straight, because the moment you were actually moving your head around, it could have been a puke fest. You see, the distortion was absolutely unbearable, barrel distortion, mind you, so it's like if you're looking like at the end of the bottle after drinking it, and when you're drunk in this case, because it was absolutely mentally bad. And it's just a shame because the center part was absolutely amazing. But yeah, I asked why this thing was happening. They actually told me that 2 weeks before CES they decided to make the panels actually canted to have a bigger FOV, but they didn't have time to actually, you know, reset the distortion profile. That's a very weird thing to do before like a trade show, an international trade show where everyone is gonna try your things. Shall we give them the benefit of the doubt again? That was the situation. Overall though, talking about the headset, is smaller than the Pimax Crystal, it's lighter than the Pimax Crystal, is more comfortable than the Pimax Crystal. They actually added a new strap on top to make it lay on your forehead, and this time instead of using just a foam for your face, they're using a silicone thing similar to what we have on the PSVR 2. It has inside-out tracking, it's gonna come with their own controllers, the same that we saw on the Pimax Crystal. Yeah, I was very surprised by the wider FOV and yeah, just the quality of the screens themselves. They were very, very good. What's also particular here, what we said before, is the fact that you can actually swap the optical engine if you want. There are two clips on the bottom. It's actually very hard to swap, someone from Pimax was trying to do it. It took around 2 minutes just because they couldn't actually clip it out in the right way. I'm showing you the video right now live. But yeah, with that on the fly, you can change from the QLED to the micro OLED displays with the pancake lenses. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to try the micro OLED. I asked many different times, but they said that they had some problems with the distortion. I said, yeah, even the regular Crystal had a problem with distortion, so can I see them? And they told me that no, so that is it. But anyhow, what do I think about it? I think the Pimax Crystal Super for sure is an evolution of the Pimax Crystal Lite on a way. I really love the fact that finally they made them smaller, because yeah, the Crystal and the Crystal Lite are comically big. And overall, I think that visuals are really something particular over here. The distortion was completely unbearable. I really hope there is something that they can fix, because they're gonna start to send these things very soon to consumers. So I hope it's ready already. I'm still excited about this product. On the way, yes, the resolution was crazy high, very bright. The colors were very vivid. So for sure, an amazing screen to play PCVR with. Mostly simulators will look absolutely amazing over here. But I think it's a weird decision to actually show something that is barely working when you're at a trade show and you're so close to release. I think it would have been smarter to show a smaller FOV and telling me that a bigger FOV thing is in the work. I saw the thing exists, and it's pretty cool, but yeah, it has problems. Hopefully they're gonna be able to fix them. And again, I don't want to talk about just the render that they showed last time, because yeah, it was on a TV over there and that's it. But anyway guys, hopefully we're gonna see it over here soon for a full review, and hopefully things are gonna be different from my demo at CES. Thanks for Pimax, of course, to having me over at their booth. Everyone was absolutely extra nice and extra available to all of my questions, so I really appreciate it. Let's fix everything, guys, because I want that thing to work. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I have also a video with the Megane X that is very interesting indeed as well to share with you. And also like a big best of CES that is going to arrive next week. So stay tuned. And yeah, I see you guys next video. Thanks for watching.